Flip your phone vertical for the story experience. What's up, y'all? It is Thursday morning. My hair is very bouncy and flirty. I just did 54 minutes of making comics on the Werewolves and Unicorns comic, and really getting a lot of progress done, just focusing on tones today, and kind of I flattened all the inks. Let me show you. So I flattened all the inks, and the lettering I kept separate with the balloons is the only thing I kept separate. So I did that, and then I made these three kind of dot tone layers that are kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but they're 3 shades, and I'm repeating them throughout the pages. So page 1 is done. I mean, I might go back and change some things. I'm not 100% sure if this character, I want that kind of toning situation. I did put a little bit of toning though, because I wanted a little variation than just white figures. You know, Wily Werewolf has, he's fine because he's got the black in there, so I don't need to do too much there. With Unitas Unicorn, in his cape, I noticed I forgot to draw in the back part of the cape a lot, so I gotta go fix that. But the cape and the pants, you know, and so that way there's a little bit at least of variation than just white figures, you know. Like I said, I got page 1 done. Page 2 is about halfway done being toned, I guess. Yeah, and I'm liking the progress. It's getting close to being done. Now it's time to get to work. I'm not sure what's in store. I didn't have anything specifically planned, like deliveries as far as I knew, so we'll see what's happening. But I have to get to work, and I'm going to bring my computer so I can work on dialogue and stuff during lunch. So we're really getting close to finished here, and I'm happy because I really got to get started on Lone Wolf. And yeah, got a lot of stuff going on. I got some people helping me with logo ideas. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. So I appreciate anybody's help with that. Thank you. And we'll see what happens. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. What's up, y'all? I got that reflection from the sun coming from my laptop. It's bright. Let's see. Alright, I'm about to get into some more work on this Werewolves and Unicorns comic. Punch Out, the one that I'm creating for the anthology, and just gotta do some more dialogue and stuff. But I've been listening to a lot more Gary V. I know I talk about him a lot, but he's highly motivational, and I want to think more like a business person with what I'm doing, and try to really make something of it. And I think that for the most part, what we've been doing as an industry in comics is kind of on the pathetic side. I think, you know, and I'm not talking about my friends and stuff, I'm talking about the industry as a whole. You know, I think we just don't have we don't have a business attitude when it comes to comics very often. And I'm not in it for the money, I'm in it because I really want to make comics and stuff. But at the same time, it just seems like we're not taking the opportunities that we have. I think we could do so much more. This low bar that we find ourselves in is not the bar that we should be at. There's no reason why we can't do better with our comics and stuff like that, and our intellectual properties. So I'm really inspired, and I just want to crack that egg, you know, crack that nut, or whatever the metaphor is, you know. So, I mean, still in some ways I'm a little bit getting ahead of myself, but I'm planning for those things, because what I really need more than anything is a good product. And that's not going to happen without me working on comics, which is exactly what I'm about to do right now. So let's get to it. Alright, we're finally done with the dialogue and the script. I'll send it in, and if there's any changes I need to make, no big deal, I can make those. But other than that, we're doing good. All I need to do is finish the toning, do a couple little finishing touches on the inks, just super small stuff, but it's pretty much done. This weekend I should be able to start on Lone Wolf, maybe even tomorrow a little bit, we'll see. Oh, and last but not least, I don't know if maybe I said this already, but on Steve Brute, a guy who's he just started the 100 Days of Making Comics, and today's his first day, and he also did the 1 hour comic book challenge, which is awesome. That's a challenge I started over on YouTube. You should check it out. The link is in the description for all my links and stuff, a link tree. It's in the bio, but you can check his video out. It'll be in the YouTube description and all my other social media except for Instagram, because you can only put one link there. But yeah, check out his video. He did it digitally. He's the first one to do the 1 hour comic challenge digitally, which is really cool. Steve Brute. All you gotta do is go on YouTube and write in Steve Brute, and I think you'll find it. So yeah, so that's awesome. The victory. The sweet, sweet victory. Just spent about an hour on my comic. Punch out from the Werewolves and Unicorns anthology for the 100 Days of Making Comics crew. And I just finished it all up. Sent the files over to the editor, aka Mike Emirates, and I feel accomplished. I feel happy. I feel excited to start working on Lone Wolf. And yeah, I got it in, I don't know, I think 3, 4, 5 days before deadline, so that's cool. Hit a deadline, that's like a big part of making comics. You want to make sure you get stuff in by the deadline, and that's my goal for everything. Like from now on, like I'm never gonna miss a deadline again if I can help it. And I'm excited. So yeah, it's finished. I can't show you the finished pages because we have to wait till the anthology Kickstarters. We have to wait till it's been released for a year before we can release it to people if we want to do that, like for free or something. I don't know what I'm going to do exactly, but we're going to be doing a Kickstarter sometime in, I think, early spring or early summer, late spring. I'm not sure. We'll see how it all works. We haven't made that decision yet, but I'm excited. Another comic in the bag. So once every month or so, sometimes once every 2 months, I run over to my local comic book shop, which, is always a fun thing. And I pick up my comics. And today I did such a thing. And you want to see what I got? You want to check it out? Here we go. So it came out on a Wednesday, which is a monthly anthology by Alterna. Really cool stuff, lots of little stories and stuff. I'm looking forward to checking that out as always. They started putting out these for newsstands, these 99-cent comics. They're reprints, but I don't actually have some of these issues, so I'm actually happy to grab them. So here's another one, Eden 4. I think this is the this is the last Eden, so I'm gonna catch up on that. Pretty cool. Midnight Mystery is another one that I haven't read these yet, so I gotta get on these ones. And I actually got some Marvel titles. Major X, the new Rob Liefeld story, and I already peeked at the last page, which kind of is a big spoiler, so I won't get into that with you guys. But yeah, I don't know, I thought it would be kind of cool to check this out since it's a new X book, and the guy who got me into wanting to make comics, Rob Liefeld, X-Force #1, that was what made me say, you know what, I think I want to do this for a living. So yeah, really excited to read this one, looking forward to it. And X-Men Grand Design, this is the fourth one of these, but there's two issue series and there's a third 2-issue series coming out soon, I don't know when exactly, but I know it's coming out. So yeah, I'm looking for. I haven't actually read any of these yet, but I have them like ready to read. Like I want to read these really, and they go through the history of X-Men kind of through the eyes of the Watcher. So yeah, I'm excited. I have to get back on my reading game. I've been slipping with that lately, and so I need to start catching up on my reading comics, and I'm excited because I finished the anthology today. I actually looked it over, and I'm gonna have to make a couple little tiny tweaks, but those will literally take a few minutes, and I'm excited to get back on, or to get onto Lone Wolf tomorrow. Hopefully I can get it in because I have to go to work tomorrow too for a little bit, so we'll see. But at some point this weekend, hopefully tomorrow, I'll at least get started on pages for Lone Wolf. If not tomorrow, definitely Sunday, God willing. So yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. All right, so there were some more super last final touches that I noticed on the Werewolves and Unicorns comic. So just one thing was misspelled, and I forgot to draw in like a really loose rendering of a crowd in one background, and I made a couple little tiny tweaks, just little things I noticed. There were still actually a couple little things, but they're like, I don't really care about those things, you know. At some point you got to let it go, and I can make those changes real quick too, but I don't know, it kind of makes things look a little off register in some parts, which I actually like. Those are I kind of call them happy accidents. I almost do that on purpose sometimes, a lot of times anyways. So I don't know, I like things to look a little bit imperfect because it gives it a little bit more of a hand done feel, anyways. And if you go and read, you know, comics I grew up with, if I were to go and pick up like any comic out of my box, especially the ones that are older, even newer ones too, but you're gonna see all kinds of imperfections. You could probably count a lot of them in every single one of those books, and I think there's a charm to those anyways, you know. So these are like super tiny things that nobody would even notice or care about, most likely, unless you're really looking for them. So I don't know, I kind of leave stuff like that in sometimes. So I don't know, we'll see, but but I think I'm done. I mean, unless I get a revision or something from the editor, but I think we're good. So anyways, I'm just happy to have that fully off my plate at the moment, and I'm gonna definitely be focusing on Werewolves or Lone Wolf tomorrow, if I get a chance to do some stuff. And yeah, look at that hair, it's crazy when it's wet. I don't know if I can show you, but it's really long when it's wet. It goes down to, let's see, it goes down to my third vertebra. No, I don't know. It goes down pretty far on my back now. This is the longest I've ever had my hair. But I just had an idea. What do you guys think? I gotta see what you guys. What if I was thinking I was gonna, grow this until the spring and then see what I wanted to do. The only reason I'm growing it is because I've never grown it super long before. I mean, I've had it long, but not this long. But it's, it's gonna be summer, it's spring for now, but I don't know, I had this idea. What if I keep growing my hair and don't cut it until I am finally able to work to make art my living? Like 100%, like quit my job and make art my living. It's kind of a crazy challenge because it's a big leap from here to there, but it is possible. It's very possible. I just got to work really hard at it. So I don't know, I think it's kind of a cool idea. I gotta pass it. I gotta see if my wife, what she thinks. I'm curious what she thinks. So I'm gonna ask her. What do you guys think? All right, so I just read it, Major X from Rob Liefeld. Dan Fraga actually did some inking on this too, which is kind of cool. I guess Will Spartasio is going to be doing the second issue and continuing with it. It's my review is I'm not no spoilers, but it's what you would expect from Rob Liefeld. You know, he's the guy who got me into comics. It's the story isn't great. The art is really cool where it's really cool, and it's really not where it's really not. There's no backgrounds. All the characters are pretty much floating in space throughout the whole comic. But I love it. I don't know. I just can't help but love this stuff, and I do really like the parts where it's great, and the story is just crazy. It's interesting. There's bags of exposition and information and plot and fighting for just fighting's sake, and I don't know. It's everything you would expect from Rob Liefeld, and I dig it. I'm gonna keep reading it. I don't know. I'm a sucker for Rob stuff, so yeah, that's my review.
And I still spit sick. The flow was like